What up, my name is Brad. Welcome back to Pokemon Discussions. Today, this is really a really quick one. I just really want to talk about the Distortion world. I'm a gigantic fan of Giratina. I mean, I'm a gigantic fan of Gen 4. It's been my favorite generation since I played Gen 4. Way back when. Like, this was, like, right around the time that I was old enough to actually, like, understand what I was doing, you know? Like, I had a DS, you had the Game Boy slot, I knew you could put the Game Boy in there and get different Pokemon encounters, and I could use the internet, and it was a good time. I tell you what, I was about 13 when Diamond and Pearl, I guess like 12 to 13, when Diamond and Pearl first came out. So I was at, hey, I just got into Dragon Ball, and I was like, oh, yo, this is dope. I like all this badass stuff. Big space dragons, and a ghost dragon from a different dimension, and everything was super dope. I want to talk about the Distortion world in retrospect to what do I think they're going to do with it in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I don't know. I don't know, for lack of a better term. But you know, we're here to discuss it, and we're here to what we think about it. And I want to know what you guys think about it too in the comment section down below. Leave a like, subscribe if you do enjoy these kind of discussion videos where we just talk about stuff. It's the main idea here, is we just talk about stuff while you hear me breathing into the mic. And hey, what am I gonna do? Sit back here and be like, hey guys, so today we're gonna be like, no. Distortion world. What about it? What makes it cool? What makes it dope? What is it all about? So if you didn't play the original Diamond and Pearl, which is crazy to say that a lot of people may not have, people that are like 20 now, they might have just barely touched it, you know, and then 5th Gen came out. Maybe that was their first Pokemon game, which is insane when you actually think about it. Distortion world is like this weird dimension in between our world and Dialga and Palkia's and all this other stuff where it's the reverse type thing, right? I definitely recommend checking out a couple of the Pokemon movies that have it. I actually like the movie, I don't like the Arceus movie that much, but Shaman and the Sky Warrior or Giratina and the Sky Warrior is a dope one. That's a good one to check out. Shows you more about the Distortion world as well. Or just play through Platinum and get to the end of that where Cyrus gets sucked into the Distortion world and you have to go in. And that's where you catch Giratina. It's really good. It's really a cool concept. Always has been, and kind of always will be. What are they going to do with it? Now, my initial thought is the Delta episode from Oris, right? Where you had, but see, that's a mythical involved in that, so I feel like that's more going to be an Arceus type thing. But then Arceus got Pokemon Legends Arceus. Maybe they'll touch on Darkrai instead of like a Deoxys type thing for their DLC-esque post-game whatever. It could totally be only a post-game thing, but that means they change the story quite a bit. Because that's actually intending if they take Platinum or they take Diamond and Pearl's story. Because that's one of the main differences is Giratina, right? That's really, like, the main difference. Actually, like, yeah, you have little bits and pieces, Pokemon encounters, trainers, levels, all that kind of stuff. All the little quality of life changes that happen between Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. For sure. Like, I don't know the best way to go about it. What I would want to see the most, I guess, is the best topic we can discuss. So when it comes to the Distortion world, I really don't want to see paid DLC be the Distortion world. Let's talk to some guys over on 5-9 Gaming, which you guys go check out that channel if you want to. We do a whole lot of stuff over there. Pokemon discussions, we play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything under the sun, right? Well, okay, we play like Duels for the Roses, we don't play actual Yu-Gi-Oh! But either way, go check out that channel. We were talking about how they could see it being paid DLC. Because back when Oris was out, they didn't have any kind of thing like that. Sword and Shield is the first Pokemon game to get this actual DLC. And it would be a hell of a selling point for a DLC if it was about Giratina. But then, I think about it from the perspective of they're remaking it. And that's changing something core about it. Like, the Delta episode just added something to it. Isle of Armor added something to it. You know, you got Cubfu, you got Urshifu, then you got the Crown Tundra, that added the Galarian birds, that added something to it. It didn't take a previous mechanic and change it, but then those aren't remakes, and it's the first one with DLC. So there's a lot of back and forth there where you could really make it. You know, you could look at Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, how it changed the story compared to Sun and Moon. It didn't change it a lot, but it changed it enough that it was different, technically speaking, right, with Necrozma and Poipole and all those things. And going through all the wormholes and yada yada yada. It definitely changed enough to make it different, which I think is something we're probably going to see here I feel like they've got to loop it in somehow with Galar to be an 8th gen game. We're in Generation 8. They got to loop it somehow into Galar. I feel like in one of the other videos I said Generation 9. Either way. I feel like they've got to loop it somehow with that, because the whole thing with Gen 8 is Dynamax and stuff, and I don't see them abandoning that midway through. I made a video talking about Megas, Dynamax, and Z moves. You want to check that out. I don't know. That's the best thing I can say. That's why I said it's going to be a short video at the beginning. Because I don't want to see paid DLC. I want them to leave it the way it is. And then you can make the DLC. One of them could be all the mythicals. So Shaman, Darkrai, and then maybe something that leads into Arceus. And then the Arceus game comes out. Totally. I don't think Pokemon Legends Arceus is actually going to be DLC of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be its own whole separate thing completely, and Arceus just happens to be the basis of that one, which I'm fine with. I don't really. It doesn't really matter to me at that point, because we always talked about for years how the Azura Flute would have been a cool event to have in the game, and whatever else, they took it out because they thought it was too complex or whatever. Fine. Granted, doesn't really matter at this point. It's been like 15, 16 years at this point. I wouldn't mind that, though. It sucks because it does fit really well as a paid DLC, but I don't want to see that. But see, they didn't do anything with Jirachi. I was literally looking at the poster over there with all the mythicals on it. They did nothing with Jirachi, comparatively to how they did with Deoxys. So who's to say they're even going to touch on Shaman and Darkrai? It's totally possible they don't. I think in the modern day they probably will, because we got, what's his name, Zarude, we got Zeraora, we got all these things that have now come out that way, which I'm sure we'll get a Shaman, we'll get a Darkrai, we'll do that kind of stuff. They'll be shiny. Oh, you can do raids. Who knows if raids are going to come back? That's a whole different thing. I'm okay if raids don't come back, but it's also fine as well. It was good for leveling up, I suppose. Yeah, who is to say they're even going to touch on it? Because Jirachi hasn't been available, as far as I know, since Pokemon Coliseum released back on the GameCube. I haven't seen it available. Yeah, I think that... I'm pretty sure it hasn't been available since then. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong on that, though. So who's to say they're even going to touch on that? So the Distortion World would make a good DLC. Maybe you do the whole story. It's Diamond and Pearl's actual story where they pop up and Cyrus uses a red chain and he gets the Lake Spirits and you save this, you save that. And then they have a paid DLC for Giratina, which is the Distortion World. And then it comes bundled with another DLC that gives you Darkrai, Shaman, Cresselia, those kind of legendaries. Maybe there's some story about Darkrai and Cresselia, and then there's another story about Shaman, and then how you have to transform Shaman, and then maybe that ties into the Distortion World because that was a whole movie and stuff. There's a lot of things they could do. There's a whole lot of things. I don't know. I'm fine with the paid DLC. It didn't really bug me. I know it pissed a lot of people off because Isle of Armor was kind of boring. I'm going to give you guys the Isle of Armor. I liked Mustard. He was pretty cool, but the rest of the Isle of Armor, it was kind of like, bro, I wouldn't have paid for this one. I would have just bought Crown Tundra, but then they made them link together, and that's why they did that, I'm assuming. Well, and they also wanted your money, so then they can validate you buying both of them, even if you only want one of them, right? I'm sure we'll have some kind of DLC for it. I don't necessarily want to see the Distortion World as that, but what do you want to see? It's the whole point of discussion videos. What's your thought process on it? Do you want to see the Distortion World be a paid DLC? Would it be a better quality at that point? Isle of Armor exists, so I don't know. What do you want to see? Either way, I'm out of here. Catch you guys around. This actually turned into a 9-minute video, so that's great. Deuces.